I guess, yeah, chapter 33 is the New World Order in my school book. They censor my 9/11 truth photos, they call the police in. But the main thing is, they attack a child's free thinking abilities. It's not where you can get educated anymore. Like, they teach you that the Federal Reserve is a federal bank at school, and it's obviously not a federal bank. It's no more federal than FedEx. It's a private bank. And yeah, I did. It's funny because when you're a 9/11 truther, you don't. It seems like they don't realize when you're raising your hand. They don't want to have intelligent discussion with you. And what happened last year was I was in a family living class, which is just a breeze of a class. It's cooking and everything. And I had an 81%, which is a C, a straight C. I had an 81 with a week left, and we didn't do any schoolwork, and I ended up failing the class. And a 74 is failing, so I ended up losing 7% of my grade in the last week of school without doing any academic work. And this happens quite a bit in some classes, but I'll still graduate on time. And you can't drop out of the school. You can't transfer schools because then you let them know that that's a victory for them. And I had to miss school last year to go to the Rally for the Republic for the first day of school, and it was also funny because they counted as a skipping school. They docked 2% off my grade in every class for going to the Rally for the Republic, and I had to go to Saturday school to make up those points. When you see people going on cruises and visit family for weeks on end, then that's all excused. But when you go to a political event, I'm a third-party candidate, like not a Republican or a Democrat, then that's frowned on by the establishment and by the school. So what they do is they shut down your mind and they tell you believe this or suffer academically. You don't have free speech in school is what they say. You don't have free speech in school once you enter the property. No handing out literature in school. No speaking of these things, or there's going to be punishment. So I probably had upwards in the hundreds of detentions, hundreds of suspensions, which are really bad for you because they dock 2% off your grade. So like I lose 19 to 20% off my grade on all my classes for going to these political events and everything. But it really shakes the schools and the establishment when they see younger kids at events like this, because we need to have these learning seminars because FEMA has these seminars.
That's right.
All these elitists have these seminars, and if you go search it on YouTube, FEMA's told their trainees that the founding fathers were actually the first terrorist organization in America, and that's what FEMA's coming at. So we need counter education, and that's why we come to these events. So I guess I'm just saying for anybody that's in school here, college, high school, middle school, I don't know if there's anybody like that here, but use your God-given rights and don't back down, because now my school is more respecting of people's rights. They see you putting up posters, handing out literature, talking. They kind of just walk by and shrug their shoulders because they know that there's, we have manpower and there's just a few people in the school. What is it, 20-person powerful faculty and hundreds of students. So I came to these events this year so that I could broaden my horizon from Minnesota. I come from a town with 3,500 people, and so we decided we'd come out to these events because I have a YouTube channel, as some of you know, and through fighting through the school censorship and indoctrination, I've gained 6,000 subscribers, a couple million video views, and those people were kind enough. Some of them donated money for us to come out here because we didn't have the money to come out here, and in return for me to make a video and awaken up some of the public. So one of my favorite quotes is by Moral Technique, and that's kind of why I'm here today, is that the mind of a child is where the revolution begins. In schools is where children either make or break. It's where they either believe the ideas of the false left-right paradigm, or they begin to shape their own opinions. Because they have politicians in half the schools speaking, politicians come to schools, politicians broadcast in schools, but there's no way that you're ever going to hear any alternative theories in the schools. So my mission with my YouTube is I tell students to get active in their schools and educate people within the public education system. And the indoctrination has become so obvious that, you know, the networks like Fox News and CNN and MSNBC, the networks that revel in hiding the education flaws, all last week, all their shows were in on the indoctrination. They were all in textbook censorship and everything like that. And those are the same people that deny that any of our theories exist. Now we're making such a big presence that they have to admit that there's a new world order, a global system. They have to admit that schools are brainwashing children. And they have to admit that key parts of history, like genocides and global transformations, are being left out of our history books. Just because all you that are here today, that they need to know that, or they feel the public need to know that the people are waking up and children aren't learning to their fullest ability in school. I'd like to thank some people. I'd like to thank my dad for letting me. I'd like to thank Luke for I was looking back at my MySpace messages a while back, because I don't really have a big MySpace page, so I only have a few messages. And that's why organizations, government organizations will all fall. The CFR will fall, the Trilateral Commission will fall, the Bilderberg Group will fall, because they have specific leaders behind the curtain. We don't have any leaders, we are all individuals out here trying to fight the New World Order. That's right! So again, I apologize. I had a speech written for tomorrow, because I thought I'd be speaking tomorrow, and so I'm kind of just winging it here, but
it's great.
Save your speech for tomorrow. Speak for the
yeah, but
you know, it's not the first time you got put on the spot. I don't know how many you saw when he was on Alex Jones, but Alex got so frustrated with the subject matter that day. Alex actually went off air and hosted the last 5 minutes of the show.
That's one of the things that I can look back on that I like, is that at least I can say that, you know, we uncovered a lot of school indoctrination on the Alex Jones show.